Super Big Gulp. Kelly coming to you in the Super Big Gulp 7-Eleven cup.
I can hear 20,000 big gulp cup of maniacs in the stands.
Everyone loves Kelly.
Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Straight into the Scarlet Halls, I'm Slidewhistle.
I am Immunization.
And I'm Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag.
I'm going to open this up with a gripe that I have with 7-Eleven and their super big gulp cups.
Oh shit, starting out strong. We're swinging for the fences.
Is this a new feud I see?
It's not really a feud, it's more just confusion. So you guys know you guys know about the big gulps of 7-Eleven, right? Probably their most standard famous drinks.
Of course.
Yeah.
They fueled much of my childhood.
Now this is confusing. The gulp I'm seeing here, well, first of all, who's getting a regular gulp? Is 20 ounces. Okay? A big gulp is 30 ounces. Makes sense? A super big gulp is 40 ounces, which is what I drink out of on the regular, out of a Kelly SummerSlam cup in 2007. But
God bless Kelly. Did she win that one?
I don't think so. I don't think she won anything.
Oh, Kelly.
Did you know there's a cup higher than super big gulp?
Was it like Mondo Big Gulp?
It's called the double gulp, and it's 50 ounces. A double gulp it's more than double a regular gulp.
So basically I'm getting out of this is the math does not add up.
The double gulp should be 40 ounces, and the super big gulp should be 50. Why would something with the name super in it not be the highest amount of gulps that 7-Eleven has to offer?
Especially if there's no Ultra or Mega. Did they learn nothing from Digimon cards?
Maybe the super big gulp just digivolves into the double gulp, and then it turns back to normal. That's why I've never seen one before. I don't have the right standards to do it.
They only do it on episode 48 of season 2, and who has the time to catch up, honestly?
I'm calling you out, 7-Eleven. Switch them. Put more ounces in my super big gulp cup. That's all that I'm asking.
I also am coming here to say that Kelly, in fact, lost the SummerSlam that year. She was eliminated in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 woman battle royale to determine the number one contendership for the WWE Women's Championship. That sounds so 2007 to me.
Did she even make it far? Did she at least make it past the first elimination? Do we know?
I assume what happened is threw out several of them at the same time. And I mean, the match was under 10 minutes long, so with that many women in the ring,
you said there was 12 competitors and this shit was less than 10 minutes? Was this just it was 2007 WWE. Was this just like a pee-pee break for all of the other performers?
Probably.
Which begs the question, if they knew she was going to lose the match, why did they put her on the super big gulp cup? Because she's the hottest one there? Is that what they're saying?
Probably. I mean, yeah.
Maybe one day I'll let the internet see what I drink out of my beautiful super big gulp cup. It's not a fucking double gulp.
I currently have a shot on deck on my Clyde/Sue from Pac-Man that has a wear mark that looks like a tear coming out of one of its eyes. So every time I look over, I see Sue crying.
I just have a few cans of truly hard seltzer that I'm going to drink during this podcast, and then I am being watched over by an amiibo card of Kurt, my favorite Animal Crossing villager, which came in the mail. But then also, because we complained, they sent us a second one, so I have 2 of them.
Put Kurt in there twice.
I just might.
Could you do... No, you couldn't do that.
Yeah, you can't.
I guess before we get into WoW stuff, we actually have a couple of updates on some of our favorite followers here. Have you guys been seeing what the fuck Gemmet, a listener of the podcast, has been doing on Twitter?
I think I have a feeling what you're going to say.
This motherfucker is out here raising emu eggs. Fucking... And we were talking to him about it, and apparently one of the emu eggs that he's raising, he said that he doesn't want to have to blow it out, but I guess it's a bad egg. And I don't know what blowing out an egg means. I'm assuming you're just is he just stepping on it?
I assume you just break it with some sort of tool. I mean, an emu egg, I would guess, is fairly large. You need some sort of instrument to break it.
Oh, he told us how many omelets you get out of an emu egg. It's 12 or something.
His life is so wild. The fact that A, he owns an emu egg, and B, he's already gotten over the thrill, and he's like, here's how you make breakfast out of it.
But I have his tweets here, and apparently he had to blow it out. He said, really don't want to blow this egg out. Very scared about the inside smell if the outside smell is this bad. I will also do this gross thing. I don't want to do it deep in the woods behind my house. Why not? Isn't that where you'd want to do it? And he did it, and it said, that was the most disgusting thing I've smelled ever. It was real bad. It's still in my nostrils, an unholy amalgamation of scent sent to the world from the darkest depths of hell. So if you've ever wondered what a rotten emu egg smells like, there you go. Ugh.
I'm glad that our World of Warcraft podcast has led up to this pertinent emu egg information. That was the ultimate goal when we started out.
It's probably the most informative we've ever been.
And then also, get this. Our original winner of our Pride pin, Blue Phoenix, aka L, who is missing for approximately, 6 months until we gave the pin to Gemmett, right? It was Gemmett we gave it to.
Yeah, he was the replacement draw.
You were the runner-up. L responded March 21st, 2020, and said, I just saw this message and don't know if I still qualify for the pin. I sent this message in June. So it's good to know, I guess, that L is still alive. And I said, actually, hey, you're alive. We had to pick somebody else, unfortunately. But they understood. So that's good, I guess, on both ends.
Yeah, it's nice to know you're still with us. We really did wonder for the longest. Hope you're enjoying 8.3.
I hope you are enjoying it more.
Well, I hope you're enjoying it more than both of them combined.
Well, dang, I didn't know that it was a contest, so I'm the loser. I'm the Billie Eilish bad guy over here.
Get fucked. Let's talk about what we did in WoW this week. I'll let Immune start this week. Immune, what was your week in WoW like?
Well, this week was another week of not a whole lot of playing WoW, but what I did do was pretty interesting. During Raid last week, I actually did 11/12ths of it as DPS, as Shadow, which is completely different. We just had so many healers, and I feel like we're still missing some people, so I don't really know what that was about.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, how many people did we have for that? It was like
we
16,
had a
15?
normal amount, right? I thought it was like the 18 to like 20-ish that we usually bring in there.
Yeah, I think maybe it was because Faye came back and decided to heal, right?
Yeah, so we had so many healers still. It's so bizarre. But would you say you would enjoy raiding as DPS, or do you like healing more? Like what was more satisfying?
I like both. I know how to do the fights better as a healer because it's what I've been doing for so long, and I'm more confident in my holy abilities than my shadow because I'm still relatively new at it, but it was fun, and I feel like I didn't do that awfully. I have like that set now. I just need to like get the rotation down and like know exactly what I'm supposed to do as a DPS, and then maybe I'll be there, but I don't know if like this is a temporary thing that I'll be doing this DPS switch, or if I'll maybe just be a backup healer if we're low on the heals. I don't know.
Join us in the DPS camp. Together we can wait for 35 minutes to do anything.
Woo!
I just tried to clap into the microphone, but it didn't work.
I have a question, Immune.
Yeah.
You are now Shadow when you are doing raid, at least when we don't have enough healers. But I don't see any spectral immunes shaking their tushies into the boss. Is that a perk you did not pick?
Oh, no, I have it. Maybe I just don't have enough crit or whatever, but I see them. Or is it just a personal thing? I feel like everyone's supposed to see them, right?
I've seen others, so maybe I'm just too busy. Tell you what, tonight we're going to be raiding. If you're DPS, I'm going to be on the lookout for spectral immunes.
Okay, we'll do. I felt like there was a decent amount of them, because I like them. I think they're cute.
I'm really bad at noticing particle effects, so I didn't notice anything. So maybe you just were doing it wrong.
I mean, I know I probably am doing it wrong, so.
Oh, that's so sad.
I didn't mean to call you out. I just didn't see any ghostly women floating at the back.
Where are the ghostly women?
That's what I've been saying. Where are the ghostly ladies at? Oh, but
where are them spectral bitches at?
But yeah, Aaron, what did you do a WoW this week?
This week in WoW, I did my usual things. As always, I'm light years behind everyone. So I just found my egg in the middle of the desert, and I've been nurturing my little baby Akir.
Emu egg?
Yes, it's my emu egg. I had to take him behind the Ramadamanamacon base and crack it, and it smelt awful. But I've been raising my little baby Akir. I've officially started leveling on booty as far as leveling an ult, so that's exciting. And this week was the week when I realized that I'm behind the times on so many things.
Such as?
Hold on, Percy's smelling my shot, and I can't afford a drunk cat.
Come on, give me some of that alcohol, Dad.
I'm old enough.
Man, this bitch is 9 months old. I can't catch a rap sheet like that. So, everyone's been talking about the wild and crazy mechanomes that they've been making, and I've thought maybe I just didn't do it. And then it took me until now to realize you have to beat Mechagon to a certain extent, and I've only ever done Mechagon twice, and apparently it doesn't count. So I can't make a mechanome yet, and I know we have said it every week for the past 3 months. Can we please do Mechagon so I can do that? I feel embarrassed now.
What's your rep at? Do you know?
It's been exalted for forever, so I don't know why it didn't count, but and I've beat it because the only times I've ever beat it were with you guys, but for some reason it didn't count.
Oh, I think it's related to a storyline that you get a quest chain that starts in Borealis, I think. Kelsey is there and she gives you something, and then you have a quest line where we talked about it on the podcast way long ago, before when it was in PTR, the storyline.
Yeah, and I think to get it you have to beat Mechagon, so I don't know what's going on, but
have you never
the egg is definitely in my face. I swear I have, but that's the new goal this week, is to try and do that so I can catch up to everyone from a month and a half ago.
Yeah, there must be one gating factor that you just didn't quite do or something. I don't know.
But that was my main thing. Slide, what did you do this week in WoW?
Originally, it wasn't a whole lot until fucking last night. I went hard. So it's funny. I've been having issues with my rotator cuff, and my left arm hurt so bad yesterday that I couldn't put it above my head or do anything with it. So I was playing.
Wait a
WoW.
minute. Hold on. This time out. This is Aaron, the real friend. Why didn't you tell me about this?
Well, because I didn't know it was a problem until last night at literally I would say what? I mean, it was 1 a.m. when it was so bad.
Yeah, that's when it really got bad. But it started probably around 11 p.m. our time is when it was worse than it had been, because you've had some pain in your shoulder for probably on and off the last 2 weeks.
But this time was the worst. It was just so bad. And so what I did to remedy it, I just took some ibuprofen, smoked some weed, and I played World of Warcraft with a bum arm.
This is not the time to have things wrong with your body. Take care of yourself. Don't smoke the weed and level your paladin.
But listen, what I did was great. Well, for the record, I also scheduled an appointment with an internet doctor, and let me tell you, that is the fucking future. A man sat here on my computer and we webcammed each other, and he diagnosed my problem. It was so fucking crazy. Anyway,
now, I have to ask, did he comment on any of the WoW paraphernalia that's in your gaming space there?
No, because luckily, well, not luckily, but most of it is actually on the wrong side of the camera, so he can't see Jaina, he can't see my alliance flag or my sword. But it was awkward because I had to pick my doctor. There was 10 doctors, and I see their faces and their ratings. So I was like, ooh, who's the best here? And I picked the doctor.
What's their rater IO?
So I picked the doctor that I thought looked the youngest, who could operate webcams. Because I was like, well, if they're old, they're going to be how do I turn this thing on? And I had a doctor, and I waited in line for a very long time. And a button came up that said, do you want to get a doctor quicker and beat the lines? And I'm like, hell yeah, I do. And then it gave me an older doctor, And embarrassingly enough, my microphone wasn't working, and I couldn't figure out how to get it working. I was the old man doctor that I was worried about getting.
Yeah, so I'm over here because
Shame.
I'm working from home behind him, so I'm also in like his webcam in the background as like this doctor is like, "Is your microphone on mute?"
And I was like, no, I just have so many microphones. And then he had to just call me. Anyway, he called me. I'm off work for 10 more days. So, video game time, and I have medicine. But regardless, what I did last night with a bum arm, I went back into Ashran. I founded my title because I realized I didn't comp cap. So I had to do a last minute, like 3 a.m. conquest cap spree. I got it. Just barely. My weapon Warforged to actually be better than what I was wearing before. And then I ran a 10 workshop, crushed it. We 2-starred it. And then I ran a 2 siege for fun. And then I did a heroic Darkshore. I did all of this in the span of like 4 hours as my arm's like
high as fuck as your arm is falling out.
So it was a good time and a bad time. So I'm sitting here. It's weird because like it only kind of happens like at night right now. So like as the sun is setting, I'm like, oh boy, here comes that arm again, and I can feel it like stiffening and like getting hard. And I don't know how do bodies work like that? How does that happen?
I wish I knew.
I'm not a doctor.
But yeah, so just a lot of horde skull cracking, and then also another thing that's pretty cool. Have you guys noticed in war mode how we are consistently at a 25% enlistment bonus for war mode?
I mean, it's because there's more Horde than Alliance in general, and then more people on WoW because of the quarantine.
Exactly. All these fucking players are coming back, and they're all Horde. We are so outnumbered out there in the fucking, like, zones that it's ridiculous. Like, I was being camped by, like, this group of 5, and then they would leave, and then a different group would come in. Like, there's just so many Horde everywhere.
And you can tell because they're all, like, trolls and stuff, where, like, the troll was the thing to be back in Cata.
Those nasty asses.
Those Grossingtons.
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact, there's another brawl up this week. It's Comp Stomp, where you beat up the computers. And I don't know if this is a bug or this is on purpose, but on my Death Knight, I have a talent that allows me to steal any enemy player's abilities that they used in the last 6 seconds or whatever. And I can't use it on these computer players because they're not enemy players. They're computers. But it's a PvP talent that should work in PvP. So this has to be is this a bug or is this intended?
I mean, either it's a bug or it is just an oversight and it's really dumb because I thought this mode was supposed to be computers that were supposed to be like as close to human as possible. So why are you not allowed to use like your PvP talents when it's supposed to be PvP? I'm doing air quotes.
It's got to be an oversight, right? Because like if I want to go in there and practice on these robots and I can't use my cool ability where I steal their shit and like as a Death Knight, like where I can ice block, like there's no reason to take that away from me in a computer setting. So Ian, if you're still listening to the podcast, fix abilities that target enemy players in Comp Stomp. Thank you.
Ian, I know we got you hooked after that one episode where we yelled about the ring and then also buttholes and stuff. Fix Comp Stomp.
Ian fix Comp Stomp.
Title right there.
What if just every week we just called out Ian with a different title? Eventually he'd have to listen, right? Like he would have no choice after like the 8th or 9th call out.
And that's how we shoot to stardom.
Or get hit with like a cease and desist, stop calling out Ian.
Yeah, or have our entire shit shut down.
Ooh, hit us with that C&D, baby.
No, don't hit us with the C&D, please.
Give us that publicity. So I kind of talked about it a little bit in my what I did in WoW, but we can talk about our overall group progress as a raid team, and excitingly enough, I'll let you go ahead with it, Aaron.
Ooh, girl! On the second poll, yes, second poll, exactly like we said last week, we beat Nazoth, and I'm AOTC. And I can assure you, it felt 1,000% as hollow as these two described it last week.
Like, I don't really understand. It just felt so much easier.
It was an afterthought. Like, when we killed N'Zoth, I had one of my hands off of my keyboard, like, shepherding my cat back onto the bed, and I turned around, and it was like, "You've done it, champion." And I was like, oh, I guess we did it.
It's so weird. Like, I feel like with our group size, he had literally, like, 4 times less health. Like, he just got beaten the fuck up.
Yeah, so this was the 1 out of 12 that I healed during. So I guess technically, I killed Nozoth twice in the last week, I guess, because it was like a weird in the middle of the reset thing. But like, yeah, that was the only one I had to heal, because I guess I was in both raid groups or whatever. Are we gonna do that again, or is that done now?
I'm assuming what we're going to do is we're going to progress as normal, just like do like our regular runs where we get up to that point and try it. I know we have 2 people or 3 people that don't have AOTC that we're going to get AOTC. So there might be like 1 or 2 more group splits or whatever. But as far as I know, we're just going to keep doing it as regular and maybe just swap to our alt raids on like Wednesday or whatever.
I was going to say, we've touched upon it before, but we're in a dangerous zone now where we have, other than those 2 or 3 people, we've gotten AOTC. Uno Mas is pretty much a heroic-only guild, and we do not know when Shadowlands is coming. Will we continue to just sort of do these kinds of shenanigans for months on end?
So, at the end of Raid, on Wednesday, Latros asked if we could pull the first boss on Mythic today. And Lynn said if we have 20 people, we will do the first boss on Mythic. I forgot about that until now. So if we keep doing Mythic bosses, that will hopefully keep the guild going.
I always forget, that you need 20 people and it doesn't scale down, because that's like always our limiting factor, it seems.
Yeah, our raid team, for whatever particular reason, is 19 people.
Every fucking time.
But I hope that we start trying to do a little bit of Mythic progression. It'd feel good, because I feel like, not to be like full of ourselves, but I feel like since we've joined the guild and become a little more prominent, I feel like we, as a raid team, probably could down the first few bosses in Mythic after like a few weeks, probably, right?
I definitely think so. If we can, as long as we get 20 people each week, I think we could actually kill a good amount of bosses. We have such good damage, and now with literally like our Superman Leo, who's doing like fucking double the damage of everybody else. Like, I don't know what the fuck that guy's doing, but he's insane.
He's a paladin. I don't know. Just every Superman I've ever met has been a Ret Pally. So I assume there's some sort of Michael secret stuff over there in Lights Hope Chapel.
Yeah, you look at the fucking top of our meters and it's like all pink. Except now there's some red up there because your boy's running second place with my Death Knight.
Just you wait until that Shadow Priest white damage gets up there, baby.
Whoa,
I'm pretty sure I'm
damage.
top 20 damage of our 19-person raid crew.
Oh, how did that talent change feel? Did you notice his health drop 10% in like a second when you changed it?
Yes, and also just in life that has affected me. I don't know what I was ever doing with that silly Billy other series of traits. I am running over here, just sniping people. As soon as they get to 30, I said, I'm just going to run circles around you. Scorch, 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 scorch,
Yes.
scorch. It's amazing.
Execute damage on Fire Mage is so much fun. You're just like, oh, here we go. Instant fucking fireball. Or, no, instant greater pyros, right?
Yeah, just Pyroblast. Greater Pyro is the one where you have to sit there for
yeah.
like 17 years.
It's been so long since I Fire Maged. But I got to Frost Mage in the alt raid, and I missed it so much. Oh, the blinks. I mean, the shimmers. Ooh. Ooh, wait. But also, did you see how much gear I got on my fucking Frost Mage, Aaron? Did you see how much gear I got?
Yeah, I saw it. You had a really, really good week. I'm over here on my maid, still scrounging.
I got so much gear that I had to write it on my what I did in Wild board. I wrote, got big Azurite pieces, plus pants, plus the wing trinket, plus a good ring. I got 2 of my like best in slot Azurite pieces, and it sucks because even if I wanted to trade them to you because I'm an alt, I couldn't have because they're such higher eye level than what I already had.
Because they're so good. They're so good for you. So, with our raid discussion coming to an
I'm gonna
end,
pull a time warp.
What?
I have never had the spit taken out of my mouth like that on this program. Like I just did there.
Wow. I feel like I was just like betrayed here.
We had a pre-pro meeting and everything.
Ooh, I feel like a little dirty boy right now.
Go hit the showers.
My timer is ready. Look at it, Immune. Stare at it.
Yeah, doesn't mean you'll use it.
Okay, so these 2 gumbos have 40 seconds to answer my question as much as they can. And I didn't even pre-check if this was a question we've done before or not. So hopefully it's not. And even if it is, I don't remember.
I don't remember half the things we say anyways.
Are you 2 ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
When I say go, I want you to name as many mages as you can. Ready, set, go.
Khadgar,
Jaina,
Medivh.
Khadgar, Kael'thas, Sunstrider, Ronin, Male Fellstorm.
Oh, the goblin, magician guy.
The Great Asmarek.
The guy who got sick and you had to give him potion.
Archmage Moderus. Archmage.
Oh yeah, God.
Argoth. Archmage Growliina.
Archmage Gorgon.
Shit.
Time. Fuck you guys. You didn't say me, you fuckers.
Well, because you're a Death Knight now.
I also realized how unfair that was to Immune because literally Aaron lived with mages for a while.
No, literally, I closed my eyes and I was going down my Legion Order Hall list.
So, originally I was gonna say how many Illidari can you guys name, but then I realized you guys probably can't name any Illidari, so I changed it last second to mages, thinking it'd be easier, but I kind of skewed it in the other direction.
I mean, I literally wouldn't have been able to name any Illidari probably, besides what does Illidan
Janice
count?
Wilson still count?
Janice Wilson definitely counts, but yeah, I mean that's why I switched it.
Okay, I'm just gonna chug the rest of this truly, I guess.
I feel bad because literally he was like, "Hey, Aaron, pick people you hung out with for 3 years." So I'm gonna take my shot too.
when Immune was like, the Goblin Mage, and Aaron's like, the Great Asmarek. I was like, oh, you dirty.
I feel bad. He was like that guy who got sick, and I said Male Fellstorm 5 minutes ago, motherfucker. I'm gonna sit here and think some more.
I don't know this stuff, guys.
I'm sorry. But I'm not really. I'm really not.
I mean, I really should know more mages. It's just when these time warps come, I just forget everything.
Yeah, that's why I realized, I could repeat the same question, every other week, and, we'd forget what we got the answers for before.
I don't think we've done it quite in that way, though. I feel like we've done a time warp where it was, name members of the Kirin Tor, but that's, or, members of the council, or things like that, but...
Yeah,
what if I was...
Never has it been so open-ended as a mage.
What if I would just, name as many movies from Adam Sandler as you can?
Billy Madison.
Happy Gilmore, 50 First Dates, Weddings,
Jack and Jill.
Singers?
Daddy's Boy.
Lil Nicky.
That
was a lot.
Ends. Don't you bring Little Nicky to my house.
I actually like Lil Nicky a lot. I know it's bad, but I still like it as, a bad movie. A bad boy movie.
Did you know Little Nicky had a Game Boy Color game?
No. What do you mean?
Yes, it had a Game Boy Color adaptation. Come on over to my YouTube channel, Buttman64, to watch my 68-part walkthrough of it.
Oh my god. I'm watching a video right now. This looks insane. Which company fucking made this shitty game?
Okay, so I'm gonna ask, what year was this movie released?
Like 2000, I'm pretty
Yeah, I think
sure.
like 2000, like late, like 99 maybe is my guess.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say this game looks like around that era, so I had no concept of when that movie was. So I was gonna be like, oh, this game looks real old.
Honestly, though, looking at it, it looks pretty true to the movie. Surprise, I'd say as a little Nicky Stan.
Well, I guess Aaron, you can keep us on the path of where we were trying to go.
Now that all that silliness and shenanigans are over, I'm going to bring up my D&hour thought.
Papa, tell us a story. Yes, Papa, a story.
How about you come and pull up a chair? These are D&hour thoughts.
So this is a more, I guess, weighted D&hour thought, and perhaps I'm the only one who feels this way. But today I was going through Grizzly Hills, and I encountered a mission where you had to save an Alliance scout, and he was like, "We got to get out of here. Those vile creatures are after us." And I hopped on his horse, and all of a sudden we had to start firebombing other Worgen.
Excuse me?
And I was like, and this was on Growliina. It's like, "Oh, those vile, disgusting creatures. I hope you're not bit so you don't turn into one of them." And Growliina was like, read the room. Why?
Wait,
So after,
I mean, I haven't leveled through Grizzly Hills, so what was that storyline doing there?
I don't really know. All it was I was tasked to go find a guy who had not reported into the Grizzly Hills Alliance area. And then there was a bunch of nice, like, loggers and stuff. And then when I freed him, he was like, "Uh-oh, they're all Worgen. And we have to get out of here because those vile beasts are going to attack me." And to my knowledge, that's the only Worgen-based quest there. I will say, they were not like the people Worgen. They were like the big bad wolf model, scary, long talon, like goggle-wearing Worgen. But it's weird because they were just Worgen. And I understand that they were like an enemy mob for forever. But when I was firebombing them and throwing magic spells at them, I remembered when the Dark Iron Dwarfs came out, they added an extra line to like every Dark Iron Dwarf quest that was like, "These are the mean ones." Why do you guys think Worgen have not gotten that distinction yet? Because all the Worgen are supposed to show up from the same place. They're all Gilnean Worgen, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe this is... It's different, but like, it kind of feels like maybe it's the same as like how we view the Dark Iron Dwarves now, because like, you know, like there are entire raids where we just kill them.
Mm-hmm. I once again, this is not me being like, "We're mistreated." It's interesting that Worgen are still allowed to be enemies and like able to be wiped out without any sort of like, "Oh, but some of them are our friends now."
So in lore, I guess, or in canon, is it supposed to only be a small sect of them that have like aligned themselves with the Alliance and not like gone? I don't. I feel bad saying this, but like feral. I don't know.
As far as I remember, the Alliance Worgens are ones who have been taught Night Elf magic to like maintain their humanity, but they're still Gilnean Worgens. The guy I firebomb could still be like Growlina's brother. It's weird. It's weird that they're the only race I feel like that does that.
It's funny, too, because if you look at Grizzly Hills, that's obviously in Northrend. And there's actually a lot of Northrend shit where you beat up big, ugly, feral Worgens. Like, there's that spot you talked about there, and then there's that that dungeon where that blood orb flies through all those different, like, monster mobs, and one of them is just a really big, like, dead-skinned Worgen. You remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the expansion right after that was Kata, and that's when they added in Worgen. So they literally, like, Worgen were just, like, these big baddies, and then immediately, like, this expansion, "Hey, everybody, they're back from behind the wall, and they want to hang out with you." It is honestly really bizarre.
I guess I'm not really trying to go for any, like, "they should change." I guess I was just wondering it was an interesting thought that came across my mind. Like, why is I don't want to say speciesism because that's a stupid thing, but like, why can we still actively kill Worgen as a Worgen, and we don't even get like a little notice to be like, oh, these are a splinter group?
So this got me thinking a little bit, but it's kind of the same, not to steal a show or anything, but it's kind of the same with the Draenei, because like any given Draenei, like I guess could go rogue evil to become an Eridar.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, personally, my brother, as we reestablished like last episode,
Rakish.
yeah, I had to kill
Yes,
my brother.
Rakish, your brother.
I honestly think that would be really cool if they were to go back and add some, like, just some kind of dialogue text for, like, if you're an allied race or if you're a regular race like the Worgen. I think that the Worgen that we hang out with, or sorry, that we beat up in, like, Wrath, I think they are like a sect of Pharaoh Worgen, right? Like they're like the crazy ones that were created by what's that man's name who started it all? The
It's
first
like Osregal.
Goldrin? Is it Goldrin?
Well, Goldrin is the wild god that I'm going to say we because I'm one of them that we are molded after. But as far as Gilneas, we're there because of Asregal, the summoner, was like, oh, I'm going to create a people that can protect the wall. And then he pulled out the old Night Elf Worg, and he's like, oh, these guys are shitters.
Look at these guys, everybody.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I remember when they added Dark Iron Dwarf, that was also a talking point. It was like, well, when are we gonna get dialogue for these guys? Because Bludgeon was going back to fucking the Corn Dire Brew, and I was killing my dad. And it was like, kill these
and we
ugly
have,
bitches.
though, because I remember making a gnome character, and when we had to kill them, it's like, these aren't the ones that are allied with Moira. They went and like altered that entire storyline to be like, well, these are the bad dudes. But 10 years later, we don't get a these are the bad dudes with the Worgen.
Ian, are you listening? Because we have another demand for you.
Grab a notepad, jot this one down.
Rewrite the Worgen history.
Or even just correct it. Not even rewrite it. Fix it. Fix what's been wronged.
Redact the Worgen history.
Yes, honey.
I know it's a little late on the game, but let's hear from our favorite roving reporter, Growliina.
Hello, everybody. Growliina here with my new pal, Revulon. Rev, with N'Zoth beaten and sent to the proverbial Shadow Realm, what do you think will happen to folks like us who have chosen to keep our blessing of N'Zoth?
Honestly, not much, I'd guess. They'll probably just patch it out in Shadowlands, and this will all have been for nothing.
I refuse to believe that, Rev. Surely we wouldn't be forgotten by Blizzard like that. I'm picturing it now. 9.0 comes, and we have our very own faction. Both sides coming together to honor N'Zoth.
That would be interesting, but I can assure you that it won't happen, LOL. I'm probably going to get rid of mine soon.
Please, Rev, don't do that. The followers of N'Zoth need you. Promise me. Promise you'll stick through it, at least till we get our reward.
Ugh, fine, LOL. I just miss my headpiece.
We all miss our hats, Rev, but it'll be worth it on the other side. Speaking of which, we're reaching the end of the segment, so I'll see all of you on the other side of the episode.
Thank you for that update, Growliina. Why does it always rain in April? There's an extra Prince song for you.
Why is the rum always gone? There's a Prince song for you.
I don't know Prince's discography, but what I do know is that Blizzard released a new set of Prince, like Prince, TS, not Prince, the musician I don't know anything about.
Here's a Prince fun fact. He had a highly curable, or at least easily manageable degenerative muscle disease, but he decided to not pursue it because he was a Jehovah's Witness.
Essential oils don't work. See a fucking doctor.
Over the internet and unmute your mic.
Please.
It's like those people right now who think that their essential oils will protect them from the coronavirus. It won't. Okay, wash the damn hands. Stay inside. Don't go anywhere.
But don't wash them with the oils. Wash them with soap.
Anyways, as we were saying, Blizzard has some fine new prints that they have on sale, and this time they didn't instantly sell out. And Slide and I have one that is coming our way.
Ooh, do you?
Yeah.
When you brought that up, I was like, I know these boys are getting it.
Yeah, so they released this really cool looking Sylvanas one, and, you know, we are biased, obviously, a really cooler looking one, Anduin one. So we snatched up that Anduin print.
Hell fucking yeah. That shit looks cash. If it's still up somehow by Friday and you haven't gotten them yet, get them. They're actually cheap. The getting them without a frame is like $30, but
Wait,
37. Well, it's 37 with shipping, but it's still like pretty fucking cheap for a high quality matte print. Aaron, are you running to your computer right now, or are you running to the website to find it?
No, because admittedly, Anduin is not the biggest one that I'd be a fan of.
He's your leader.
Hey, you know what? I love Warcraft prints, but I'm looking at these 4 sexy prints in front of me, and
Ooh, I know those.
that's all I need. Ooh, you know them. I wish I could shout out the artist, but I lost her card so long ago.
No.
If I do find it, I will shout it out on social media. I promise.
You have to literally just spend your entire night finding it. Fuck right, go find her fucking information. But yeah, these prints are cash.
Yeah, I'm really excited to finally have one of these Blizzard high quality prints in our possession.
Yeah, it's interesting because they're not the usual like monthly prints, I don't think, because it seems like they have a lot more quantity of them, because you can get it in like regular print, you can get it in a canvas for like $130. I ain't doing that one. But it's nice they're finally giving us like more like not so limited art. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
And then speaking of not so limited content, Blizzard finally rolled back the restrictions on Legion raids. No longer are they just personal loot, now they're legacy loot.
Yeah, I saw that right before we recorded, Slidewhistle ran one himself.
So I don't think you can solo these raids yet. We had a group of like 10 people go into Antorus to get gear. So before unpersonal loot, you may or may not get a piece of loot off of a boss. And with 10 people, odds are like 2 of you are getting loot out of the 10 of you that are there. Now how it works is, I think each boss drops on average 5 pieces of loot. The only problem with that is like I'm a plate Death Knight, obviously. And if I can get like cloth, leather, or mail gear, which sucks. But I can just trade it to somebody else in the group. So it ends up being more loot for everybody else compared to what it was before. But people weren't understanding that when we were in there. We had a mage who was like, why do I keep getting mail group? I don't want mail. It's not good for me. And someone was like, just trade it. And he goes, why should I have to trade it? And we're like, what? You joined this group. Like, shouldn't you know this shit, you dummy?
The answer is no. People are dumb.
Ooh, girl. Hold on. Off pod. Who was it?
Oh, he had a random pug.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
His name was Internet. I can tell you that, though. Internet with a fancy umlaut I and a fancy umlaut E. At that point, what is even the point? If you have to use 2 characters that are special, just pick a new name.
I don't even think that is pronounced the word internet anymore.
I internet.
Just add another letter, like one of our, roving reporters.
Exactly. If you don't get the name that you want, just slap some extra letters on there.
And then later, buy out the rights to the regular name.
Exactly. 3 years later, have your friend get the name and then just guilt him into giving it to you.
I would love to know who the person was who had Growliina, like, originally, and who just let it lapse. Like, who was that person?
I sniped them from a window. they were just sitting there ready to log in after 9 long years, and I took them out, threw out the window, and I said, I'm not even going to grab this, but I'm going to let my friend Slide grab this, and then dox him into giving it to me.
Another down.
The perfect crime. Hey, on the break, I weighed my super big gulp of water, and it weighs approximately 2.2 pounds of water. If you're wondering how much 40 ounces of water weighs.
Huh.
Wow.
Also on the break, Aaron, I looked up what you have to do still to unlock mechanomes. You can punch your character into Wildhead and see what you have left to do. You have to do the quest chain, the Mechagonian Threat, which is a quest chain that starts somewhere. So basically, when you're in WoW, just look up Mechagonian, and you can follow that to get your shit unlocked.
Sounds great. I want to make a diaper baby.
No, you don't. Honestly, I thought I would. They just don't work. They don't work.
Oh,
I'm gonna make them work. If I'm the gnome man, I'll be the mecha gnome man.
What are you gonna make? What race or what class?
Honestly, I've made a gnome that's been everything other than like warrior. So I guess warrior, here we come.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I kind of want to make one just to get the armor. Because I think with the armor, it looks baller. And this is the time to do it. If you're in war mode, with your 25% bonus, and with the COVID boost that they're giving us, that's so much EXP. Lynn was saying that the Draenor, the first 3 quests in Draenor, gave you like 3 fucking levels. That's insane.
I know that. You'll hear about it later.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just move on to our sexiest NPC of the week. Last week's NPC, let me tell you, fucking garbage. Don't need them. This week's NPC, speaking as a demon hunter, is the better version. I'm talking about Shade of a Comma.
If you thought a comma was anything, you have not seen Shade of a Comma.
We talking the shade of a comma that you first meet in the Black Temple, baby. And when you first meet him, it's kind of like he's in chains.
In chains.
A favorite of this podcast.
Shade of a Comma meets all my sexiest requirements. He's tall. He's dark. He's ghastly?
No, I'd say he's more haunter.
Ooh, I'm gonna Gengar him.
Oh, get in there, boy.
We gonna Gengar bang the shade of a comma?
I don't think we can say that. I don't think we can say that.
Hold on. Everyone, the sexiness has descended. Legally, we cannot say we're going to do that to the Shade of a Comma.
We will not do that unless Shade of a Comma agrees to it. We have to make sure Shade of a Comma is cool with this.
We will be sending him consent forms along with his trophy this week.
I knew that Shade of a Comma was so sexy when back in my Demon Hunter days in the Legion Hall Order campaign, I had to make a really hard choice that was really easy for me. I had to choose if I wanted a comma or Shade of a Comma as my follower. I chose Shade of a Comma, which means we had to go to Black Temple, rechain up a comma, and rip his soul from his body and leave him broken to die as we took his ghost spirit back to the fucking order hall to send out on missions for gold and war resources.
Damn, I feel like I kind of missed out on this campaign chain. It's pretty metal.
A comma was not happy.
All I'm saying is a comma may be a spicy piece of broken, but have you ever had dark ectoplasm around your ding-dong, baby? Second to none.
It's real cold, but a good kind of cold.
You know, maybe this is just like the fact that one of my first childhood crushes was on Danny Phantom, but I was really turned on at that thought.
I was like, where are you going with this?
Also, when you said on Danny Phantom, I just pieced together that you meant like on the alter ego of Danny Fenton. I was like, which ghost was he with? Was like the box ghost, Skulker?
That hot old man ghost, that was a fucking daddy.
You know we gotta talk about the box ghost.
Oh, what about Mr. Fenton? That man was a real daddy. That salt and pepper hair, that goatee, that big bear body. Ooh.
I would say that body that's literally a square.
How do we get here? This is about Shade of a Comma, baby. He's sexy. He's hot. He's got it all. He's gonna win this year. I'm calling it.
And with that, we will present Shade of a Comma with his Sexiest NPC of the Week award.
Ooh, girl.
We will send someone back to the Black Temple to hand it to you.
Send Aaron and Kate. They're already there all the time.
Nah, cause fuck Black Temple, baby. It's too long. I don't like walking it.
It is very
We did that shit 2 or 3 times, and I said, you should probably level in Pandaria so we can get past this.
But the length of the Black Temple does not deny that Shade of a Comma is the sexiest NPC of this week.
Because he's like the 3rd boss, so it's not bad to get to him.
Third boss.
So with that, we're going to head to our final segment of the episode. Our top toot, medium moot, bottom boot. So for this week, I'm passing it off to Slidewhistle. What is your TTBBMM?
I got me one of them top toots of the week.
What is
Always
it?
good to hear.
So, in my quest to cap with a ruined rotator cuff, I realized the weekly event happening in the last 8 hours of it being possible was 10 arena skirmishes. And let me tell you, I got my fucking 10 arena skirmish wins, baby.
Ooh, do tell.
So he somehow did it even though he had a partner and half of them that was trying to sabotage him.
I had a lot of garbage partners, and I never feel like I kind of feel like I'm pretty bad at arena because my focus is so bad. I'm really bad at tab targeting to the people when they have pets. I'm bad at clicking on their names in the right-hand corner when I can easily find them. I just get really distracted by like all kinds of things. But I was killing shit. My favorite ability, the one that I couldn't use in the comp stomp, is Dark Simulacrum? I don't know how you say it. Dark Crumbum. And what it does, as I said earlier, it steals their ability that they used in the past, like, whatever seconds. I stole a mage's ice block. They killed my partner, and as the rogue kidney punched me, and the fire mage revved up a big greater pyroblast that was going to kill me, ya boy, a Death Knight, fucking used ice block to mitigate the greater pyroblast and the stun, and I came out of it because they wasted all their fucking cooldowns, and I blew them the fuck up in a 2-on-1 contest. I carried so many skirmishes that I was like, is this me in my body playing? What the fuck's going on?
An out-of-body experience, because you're like, am I that epic?
I gotta be, because I got us those 10 wins. And the best part was when I had to play again with that guy who died. He said, hey man, sorry about that. Like, we got this. And he ended up pulling his own weight after he wasted it in the first fight. And we both murdered boys for a while. So my top 2 goes to arena skirmishes. What about you, Aaron? What's your TTBBMM?
This week, I have a top toot.
Ooh, 2 top toots. Toot.
Toot toot.
Toot toot.
So, my lady friend Cubby Bub, my girlfriend, is a accomplished artist. She's got a following online, all that business. And with Animal Crossing coming out, I was like, well, I'm going to make Growliina as a villager. And she was like, oh, that's cool. Let me do that too. And then she did it. And then she did it for her character, Cubby Bub, who is a Pandaren. And I really like how they turned out. And that's my top toot. And I'm going to use that to ask you, because she also asked, would the two of you, what animals would you be? Immune, we assumed you would be a goat. Would you say that's a fair assessment?
Well, I mean, like, if it's based on my WoW character, I think it has to be a goat, right?
I mean, you are a goat woman, yes. I wanted to let you know about that before it showed up.
Yeah, in fact, yes. Like, Immunization is a goat woman, so yeah, sure.
So, Slidewhistle, you have many different people. Which character would we do, and what animal would they be?
Was there an assumption about my animal?
I put forward that Slidewhistle, the demon hunter, the character you're named after, would be a deer.
Oh dear. Now, whenever I imagine myself as an animal, I imagine myself as the American dragon. Me, Long.
He's the American dragon.
S to the L to the I to the D, EWHISTLE.
But not that fucking shitty second season. Not that second season dragon. I want to be big boy Jake Long with that big tail.
So before the whole animation style changes.
Yeah, the big red, strong, muscular dragon with the big wings and the big, tail.
I see. So you'd want to be a muscle dragon.
Hell yeah. Make me like that guy in Ring Fit. Drago, that guy. That's who I want to be.
So like a jock bull.
Yeah, but red, like Jake Long, the American dragon.
Okay. Jock, bull, red, like Jake Long. I'm writing these down now.
Good.
So, Immune, what was your TT, BB, MM?
So I also am going to complete the trifecta here with a third top toot of the week.
Whoop, whoop.
And as before mentioned, my top toot is going to be raiding as Shadow basically the entire time without anyone telling me to go back to healing and really enjoying it. Like, because most of the time when I DPS, I feel like a little bit of guilt that I should be healing, but I didn't feel that because we had a lot of healers, and I felt like, the healing wasn't the problem, so I was like, yeah, it's fine, I can just DPS, like, it doesn't really matter what I do at this point, even though I feel like normally I'm one of the better healers, and I'm not, like, by any means a good DPS, but I feel like it's been a very nice change of pace to just do something completely different. It's kept it fresh, it's fun, it's something I've been, like, wanting to do for a while, and I've really enjoyed it. Hopefully I can do it more tonight.
That is the way I think to keep our raids fresh, is continued alt raids and allowing us to bring in different characters. Because with this new Hearthstone expansion, I still want to get my Demon Hunter leveled up and ready to fucking go. He will get some fucking sick ass gear in this raid tier.
And I've
Hell
said
yeah.
it in this podcast that Metaloid is now undead. Well,
what?
He's a Pandaren.
Whoa, what?
He's back from the not being played dead, and he is here. And I want to raid with him eventually, probably. I want to play him again, because he's like my first main character that I ever did max level content with.
That's your first raid boy. Like, that's your OG. But I legitimately, for a second, thought you race changed him to undead. I'm like, who are you playing with?
Well, listen up, y'all. This is part of the reason why you guys have been at a disadvantage of 25%. I race changed Metaloid to undead, and I'm killing you guys.
Okay,
Time
Scott.
to join the winning team.
Calm down, Scott Steiner. You're scaring me.
If you do the math, I can't do this.
There's a 75% increase in my team.
There's a 33rd and 1/3% chance that 100% of the time you win all the time. Well, with that, it's time for us to leave. Goodbye, everybody. If you have any questions, comments, complaints, you want to send us some fan mail or some DNR thoughts, or Gemmet, you want to send us pictures of your busted out emu eggs, you can email us at donotrelenttpod@gmail.com or tweet at us on Twitter at donotrelenttpod. What about you two biddies? Where can I find your stuff on the internet?
You can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at NewEraAlex, or you could follow our podcast Instagram account that I need to update, which I will do soon, on the Instagram at Do Not Relent.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at The Bigot Cheesy on Twitter. And you can find our literary musings at donotrelent.livejournal.com.
I'm going to make a grilled cheese sandwich and drink out of my super big Gulps cup. We'll see you guys next week. And remember,
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.